So look what.
Oh, it's that. No, Dom, we're here. They can't see us, but they can hear you.
Oh no!
Now they can do
How
both.
erotic!
That looks like it's gone off to that way a bit. What's happened there? Oh, I know
I
why.
look like I got more screen time than you have today, Tom.
Let's see. There you go. That's a bit better.
Oh, okay. Not saying that's
And
completely 50-50, but that's
it's
cool.
not
That's
really.
cool.
We're not quite sure what's happened actually. Doesn't matter. It's good enough. Hello, everyone.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Dom and Tom Sit, Talk and Hobby, episode 85. So, in this stream, what we do is basically we just sit and do some hobby. We chat, and hopefully you guys are doing exactly the same by joining us in our hobbiness.
I hope so.
So, advance apologies for my camera tonight. What I'm trying to do, Tom hasn't even seen anything yet. I've made some changes to the studio. I'm still doing the changes at the moment, and so I'm trying to hide it as much as I can, so no one can see it. The most obvious thing that you can see at the moment is there was a wall cabinet here which has been removed. So this is kind of like a raw area at the moment, and I couldn't really hide it without showing everything else off. So sorry,
you didn't really think about it.
I did think about it because we've got some pop-up banners, and I was going to put
you're
pop-up
going to
banners
put those up. Jeez, I haven't seen them for a while.
behind me, but they're too big. They're too big for the studio.
Oh,
So I can't put them up.
Right, I take it.
No. The studio's not high enough. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't do that. Yeah. So apologies.
I am not redesigning my space at the moment, but I was planning on doing something in my week off.
Okay. Very nice, Thomas.
I hope, but we'll see. I won't steal your thunder.
Yeah. There's a door. Got it down here somewhere. Is that it? No, it's the other one. Oh my goodness.
It's a good point, actually. Yeah, I hope you didn't get rid of that, actually.
It's here.
That's good.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Goblin Gaming, if you've checked them out, you should definitely
it's going to be an advertising door. That's
yeah.
If we do end up doing another event, that has to come with us.
Yeah, the third member of Black Toad Studios.
Yeah, it's the store. We get everyone to start signing it.
Yeah. There you go. So what's everyone working on tonight?
Yeah.
What hobby? Tom, what hobby are you working on? You're doing some painting there, I see.
I am doing some painting. I am working on... This is Black Templars at the moment. I'm working on some aggressors and a lieutenant that I'm basically... I haven't actually bought any models for a while on purpose. And I am currently selecting a few each time I sit down to paint that I have either not started / done / finished. And I'm going over them and getting them done. So I've kind of laid a lot out. Did some base spraying over the weekend on various other bits, getting them ready. And yeah, so I thought I'd start with the 3 aggressors that I bought ages ago, which I haven't used at all, ever.
Okay.
And get them done. And
oh, very nice.
What about yourself?
Well, as you can see, my lighting today isn't particularly fantastic.
You sure?
But I have got some terrain that has been sitting on my shelf for a long time. And I thought I'd better repair it and maybe actually do some paintwork on it. So, oh, there we go. I'm just kind of repairing this at the moment. So it's a nice little extra bit of terrain to chuck in. It's got a pipe coming down. I'm going to chuck something in here. It's going to look quite cool, I think. And probably attach this as well. So there's some cool stuff going on with this. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And what's everyone else working on? Let's have a look. So Mr. Blue, Grot Crew, nice. Carrying on the grots. That's what I like to see. Vanguard Wargaming, hello. It's been a long time, and it's lovely to see you.
Thank you for turning up.
I'm making an early birthday present. Death Company Dread, nice. Captain Jack, when's your birthday? My birthday is this weekend. Ducks and Still, nice. Brilliant. There's some good stuff going on there. That's what I like to see. Yeah, so yeah, unfortunately my lighting's not great at the moment. As it is mid performance. So I don't really want to be doing anything too detailed. The Titan is hiding in my cabinet behind me at the moment because I didn't want to get
finished yet.
It's looking more finished than it has. There's definitely a lot of red on it.
Getting near to your deadline.
Friday is the 15th. Oh, nice. I'm on the 16th. Cool. Yeah, please.
It is the
Please,
month of
Peter. We'd like to see
birthdays.
some pictures. It's
The
all
month
the
of
best
birthdays.
people were born in
April.
April.
Yeah, I'm on the 29th, just so you know, so I don't mind that statement.
Yeah. Yeah, just in.
Just in.
Just where you scrambled in
Wow.
to join us. Yeah, nice. Anyone else working on some hobby tonight? Has anyone made some nice purchases lately, actually? Has anyone purchased any nice hobby bits? I have not purchased anything new for a while, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
This was the last thing I bought.
Oh, nice.
Bar. Which hopefully we can try out on our next game.
Yeah, very good.
Big chunky cards, actually.
Nice, nice. I did see that, but the more stringent part of my saving personality came out, and I was like, it was like £17 on Games Workshop.
Don't worry, only one of us has to buy them. It's all right. It's
okay. Finish up some Hellblasters. I get home tonight. Oh, very cool. Nice. I do like Hellblasters. You don't see them as much as you used to, but I think they're really cool. I like Hellblasters.
I think they're just very, very expensive for what they do.
Are they?
I mean, I've only got 5. Well, say I've got 5 for my Templars and 10 for my Scorpions.
You got 10 for your Scorpions?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
I did them
nice.
I did them quite a while ago, actually. Quite a while ago.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Chaos Knights. Let's talk about Chaos Knights, Tom.
They look very
It's not going to be long until the Codex comes out.
No, I think we were talking about possibly making a little game out of that, hopefully.
Yes, indeed.
You're definitely going to have to buy some of the models.
I will buy some. Yeah, but well, I've still got one to paint up, so I've still got one more in the pipeline to get on with. And it looks like his weapon's got a bit of an increase as well. So it looks like it's got a bit more pokey than it was before, which should hopefully work out quite nicely.
Well, from what I can see, most of the changes were to minimise randomness.
Yeah.
So all
randomness is the most frustrating thing, isn't it, in 40k? It's just like, oh, I could do D6 damage. Well, I think you'll be surprised how many 1s and 2s I can roll.
I think randomness is just, randomness in a dice game is very frustrating, I think. But I think they've done quite a positive thing in changing the things to being a lot more like you get a flat 4 with an additional D something, which is nice.
Yeah.
It means you can a little bit more reliability when you're shooting things, which is
exactly.
And I think I like the new models that they've done for the Chaos Knights as well. I think there's some quite cool. Well, they had some of those kind of very tentacly-esque combat weapons, didn't they?
Yeah, they're looking pretty cool. I do like the aesthetic they've kind of carried on with, which and kind of slowly evolving. So yeah, that's really, really cool stuff. Kind of interesting to see what Imperial Knights are going to get, if they're going to get anything new. If they're going to get anything new, maybe the rules should be.
I think the rules have changed. That's what I could do. I don't think they need anything new because they're supposed to. I think what they've got is if you think about their Forge-World offerings as well, I think it was more about the looks this time round rather than necessarily about what they do, because I suspect most of the stuff they've introduced in the Chaos one would have a similar usage point from a stats point of view. So I think it's more about the aesthetic of the army this time round, which is nice to see. And then a general rules change across both codexes, which is I suppose that's quite easy to do with the Mirror Codex, though, to be fair. Keeps it fairly simple. I would say so. Imperial Knights, I agree with Vanguard. I think I do feel Imperial Knights feel complete because they're just, they're supposed to be knightly orders, so they don't need a lot of variation in look. And also, you've got all the Forge World stuff as well, which you don't need to modify to make them look cool for standard knights, in my opinion. But your war dogs look nice, the new ones and stuff. So
yeah, it's nice actually. I quite like so I've still got my war dogs that I've converted. Very happy with them. But I might pick up some of the new ones for the combat variants. So that would be quite cool.
Yeah, because you've got the auto-cannon-y ones, haven't you?
Auto-cannon ones. Yeah, the auto-cannon ones are brilliant. They're 3 flat damage. And then in the old rules, I don't know if it carries across. You can then pump it up to 4.
Guess we'll see what they do in the because you've got some new houses as well, didn't you? I think.
Uh, yes and no. The houses were in the supplement book,
Okay,
Engines of
they've
War.
added them into the actual main book then.
Yeah. So they were going to add them in. They weren't in the codex, but yeah, they were in a supplement, which now has come across to the codex, which is I think it's good. Um, do. Chaos, so Mr. Blue saying the Chaos Knights look like Games Workshop has just been watching what people have been doing for conversions, expanding on the theme. That's true.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree with me, Tom, but I remember when I played Orcs, and what I loved about Orcs was when I was playing them, when I started playing them, it was before the Battle Wagon kit came out, and half of the fun was kind of kit batching your own Battle Wagon and gun wagons. And then when the kit came out for the Battle Wagon, I was a bit kind of like, oh, well, I've taken half the fun out of it. But once you get the Battle Wagon kit, you go, actually, it is a cool kit.
Yes.
So I feel the same about Chaos Knights, to be honest, that we started off with the Imperial Knights. We converted them up to Renegade Knights, and then they've slowly kind of built on that and made them their own thing. That's my thoughts on it anyway. More rats, my opinion. Knights destroyed the game. Two big units.
I don't know
not
about
easy to balance. They're great models, but just be for apocalypse. Interesting opinion. I don't know.
I think since they changed to wounds, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I love playing Knights though, to be fair. It's like I don't get to play them too often, but they are fun to play, even in normal 40k, and there are ways around them. I mean, they don't do particularly well on some of the secondaries in missions.
I don't think they're that unbalancing now. I mean, we've played some games, and actually, to be fair, they've been pretty. They've actually been pretty medical, to be fair, in games. To be honest, I think maybe try and have a few games with them and see. Give them a go. I mean, you don't see. I mean, in all seriousness, if you look at current set of like meta stuff and stuff for tournament-based stuff, you don't really see many knights winning any competitions. So if they were that broken, I think you would see. I think you'd see knights at the top every game. When actually at the moment it's Harlequins, I believe.
Harlequins are about. They are the thing.
And they couldn't be any more opposite to a knight, in my opinion.
Everything is fine. Yeah. I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't think knights are necessarily up there with the top armies. I think, to be fair, a lot of people take knights. The logistics of bringing them to a tournament is a lot easier than the whole army of like 100 orc boys or something along those lines. Like 4 knights, boom, boom, boom. I don't know.
Mr. Blue's actually countering your point you just made, actually, oddly enough, which I must admit, though, I think I agree with you, actually. I think I'd rather, if I had to choose, I would, transporting a few knights is easier. As long as you've got a vehicle, I think. Obviously, if you're carrying them on a train, that might be a different story. But I think the luxury and storage solutions that the community's been given over the years, I think kind of what outweighs that that negative to a certain degree.
Mr. Blue's statement there. Yeah, Mr. Blue. I took knights. How many knights did I take to that event?
You took
the massive knight, the tyrant,
and you took 2 war dogs, and I think one of the miniature knights.
Yeah, maybe. I wasn't a massive.
Oh no, you took the tyrant and a war dog because that was our duo list.
Oh yeah. And to be fair, it was quite hard to get them across the battlefield because you do kind of get stuck. Hello, Isaac, and hello, Daryl. You do kind of get stuck around terrain, so you are limited in some aspects.
Mr. Blue, yes, that is true, and there was I think there is a limiting factor on some boards with how you can move around.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're good in some points. Obviously, you can't necessarily get into the center if the center's full of terrain. You can prevent people getting into the center. However, you are kind of you're stuck on the outside looking in a lot of the time.
Have mitigated that a little bit with I think the mini knights now have some objective secured traits and stuff, don't they? And they count as X amount of models now, I think, as well, don't they? So,
exactly. So you can get the surrounding objectives, but center ones is a bit of a challenge. Or if there's a bit terrain is full, sometimes you can struggle getting across the battlefield.
300 cultists.
Yeah, or 200 poxwalkers. Yes. Isaac, Daryl, hopefully you're doing some hobby tonight. Let us know what you're working on. Well, hopefully with the new Chaos Spaceman Codex, there'll be some Chaos Cultist characters in there.
Definitely will be.
So there may be
it's not Chaos
an
without
army
cultists,
of
right?
300 cultists or 295 cultists and a champion or two.
Is that their unit size, you're saying?
Yeah.
That would imply they're going to make them really bad.
Yeah. Oh, Daryl's making the new avatar model. Oh, Daryl. Nice. Hopefully you put some pictures up in Discord later. We'll get to see that beastie. That does look very tasty, actually, the new avatar.
Yeah, speaking of Discord, actually, I saw some of you guys have started to respond to my post I made about updating us on your Armies on Parade stuff. So I'm hoping we're going to see a few bits of that, or Armies at Ease, as we're calling it. Wouldn't want to step on anyone's toes. I forgot, as we called it Armies at Ease, we should have done like the stipulation would be Armies Relaxing.
Yeah, casual. Isaac's working on Night Lord Leviathan. Oh, nice.
It's a good model.
Nice. Has a Night Lord's got their own Leviathan? I know they've got their own Contemptor.
They do indeed. Well,
they've got
they did have, but obviously, as you know, they're currently being discontinued at the moment. Actually, which we all, I think we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think the Plastic Brigade is coming back with another entry in the Dreadnought arms race.
Dreadnought arms race. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's going, isn't it?
But I'm glad I've got my ones for what I have so far, so I'm happy. The Leviathans are quite hard to fit into lists nowadays, so I think one's enough for me.
Yeah, I'm glad I've got a Leviathan.
Cool.
Because it's quite a nice character unit.
Your one turned out very nicely, to be fair.
Yeah, it's going to look behind me, but he's no longer behind me. Yeah. He's about somewhere, though.
Just turn your camera there.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is upset. Yeah, so once again, people who are tuning in, apologies for my poor camera tonight, because everything over there is currently being done up and looks snazzy, but I don't want to show it off.
Don't worry, guys. You won't even let me see it.
No, exactly.
Right. I get it.
Sorry. I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Let's break into the FBI.
What's just a normal one. So what's your Leviathan armed with? Tom, you've gone with shooty Leviathan. Hello, Andy.
I had a shooty one and a he's got a shooting weapon and a claw, one of the siege claws.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I wanted the best of both worlds for my one. That was back in the day when you would normally take the double storm cannon, but I didn't do that because we were talking about that earlier about the meta thing. I didn't even do that. I mean, I had the opportunity. I had the opportunity. I didn't do it. Someone who is very close to me did do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Oh, two butcher cannons.
Oh, nice. Double butcher cannons.
I just went with combat. I was just like, look, it's the only way you're going to run a Leviathan Dreadnought.
I wish I'd done that. Combat. But I could still buy a claw for it and mod that on because they're not glued on the weapons. They're just slotted in with a bit of I think so. Gaming. I don't know if this has been a rule before, but CSM should have a rule that if a cultist are in melee, CSM shouldn't be allowed to shoot into unmodified hit wound rolls cause one more wound.
You cultists. I think I've done something similar, Vanguard. I'm pretty sure I've played it in a game where on a certain role. I think it was in our
sure we did something
Crusade
like
game.
Yeah.
In the Crusade game with Daryl, I think the rule was there was an obliterator shooting down a little avenue, and there were cultists in front, and I think any roll of a 1 was just shredding the cultists. That was quite fun. Add little fun mechanics like that into a game. Captain Jack, I did a claw and grav blaster for mine models. Oh, nice. Blushing storm. I had this picture in my mind of getting 3 Leviathan dreadnoughts, all combat dreadnoughts, and kind of are like having them very similar as in Return of the King, where you've got the 3 trolls that burst through the gate in Ministerial, and they're whacking him aside. I was like, yes,
dear.
I want 3 Leviathans to do that.
I suppose the problem with that, they then came out with the Redemptor, didn't they? And that kind of, I suppose that took that size thing away from the Leviathan a little bit.
Yeah,
Which was a bit of a shame. But then if they're going to redo it hopefully if they redo it in plastic, you'll have a slightly different look. Unless they're going to give Redemptors to Chaos.
Only a matter of time before they fall to Chaos. It'll be very favourable since Chaos Space Marines couldn't care less about their cultists. Exactly.
Especially word bearers.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Especially word bearers.
They run on them. They literally they mince them.
It's what we use actually for our Leviathans as lubricant.
They don't
just pick a cultist up and just squeeze them into the joints. Squeeze them in.
They don't drink whey protein. They just juice cultists and
yeah,
that's it.
That's what they do.
So that's how they keep moving.
Yeah, perfect. Works every time.
The Nutri cultist.
Yeah. Or if it's like a rhino and it runs over something sticky, what you do is you lay some cultists down in front of the rhino and you just roll the tracks over it, and all the sticky stuff comes off onto the cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear. This is why you're not allowed to be in charge of any armies, Dom.
No. The lackeys somewhat disappear very quickly. I don't know where they've all gone. I don't know where all our armies. I watched him. Yeah, just gone through them all.
Don't go through that door at the back of the camp.
Don't look.
The screams are real. They're not a dream.
Yeah, definite mistreatment of cultists. Yeah, I'd love to see more cultists. To be honest, I think we said in the past on the channel or not on the stream.
I mean, I think the ultimate way of doing it would be to being a traitor guard codex or renegade guard. I think that would be the best way to actually incorporate them in that kind of factor, because having rules for the traitor guard would be very cool. I think that's one thing we've always said though.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons you had your traitor guard.
Yep.
Still, so
the Slaughterers of Silence. They are there
with their Minotaur.
With the Minotaur.
Such a cool tank. That
it is a cool tank.
Is that available still? They got rid of that one.
Oh, I don't know. They've still got the rules for it.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look.
I'll let you play with it either way, but
it's such a cool vehicle. It needs to be used. I'm actually on the Forge World website at the moment.
Ooh, fancy. You sure you don't want
to? It is still on there. Yeah, please. Yeah. Look, the Minotaurs have still got their character Dreadnought. That's quite cool.
That's only a contempt, though, isn't that one? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite cool.
Andy Ashby, I painted 25 cultists and they look great, a bit dusty. Yeah, well, problem is cultists don't see the table very often.
Poor cultists.
They used to when they were. I think when they had their used to get the gods ability, didn't you, and stuff.
Yeah, they used to be a lot better than they are now. I really hope they do something.
Well, I said I think unfortunately they need to pull them out of the actual Chaos Marine case and stick them into their own one and make them a big an ally kind of force like traitor guard would be cool. I think.
Yeah, maybe. I think obviously they're putting Chaos Cultist characters in there. I think that's definitely on the cards, and I believe there'll probably be some sort of aura ability, and the aura ability should not affect Chaos Space Marines, but should affect Chaos Cultists. Because I can't believe there'll be a Chaos Cultist character influencing Heretic Astartes Legionnaire. Like, oh, this tiny little human's got a great idea. That's really inspired me.
I'm going to listen to what he said.
Yeah.
Tiny mortal, you are right. 10,000 years. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, geez.
Okay,
now you've pointed out the year of my ways. I'm there.
Horus is following me now.
Yeah. I'm in charge.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to bring Horus back. That's what's happening. That's it.
Yep.
Somehow
definitely.
His soul is going to reconnect to his body. And then the Abaddon's going to be like, Daddy! You're
Daddy?
back!
Is that you, Daddy? Yeah. So that's good stuff. Tom, I think tonight you want to talk about positive attitudes
we were
gaming.
yeah, I think we were just having a chat, and I say, admittedly, I can admit that some of our previous talkings have been on maybe the ranty side, and maybe some of the more disappointing things around Games Workshop and certain parts of the hobby. And I felt that we should flip it a little bit and talk about the good things about the hobby, and but also just in general about when you play games, it's good to have go in there actually wanting to have fun and not worrying about necessarily what's going on from a rules perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think back and actually when Dom put that, you see on the left of Dom there's a little kill team ticket over there.
See it. Hang on.
Yeah,
I was
just there.
There you go.
And it just reminded me
Snip it off.
I remember that one. That was quite that was back when Kill Team came on a little PDF. Has it got the year on there, Dom?
No, it hasn't got the year on here. But funny you should say, Tom. I think this was the first time we went to Warhammer World.
I think it was as well because we decided.
And that came up on my Facebook memories today. So let me see how long ago that was.
Do you know what? I reckon it was near a birthday, wasn't it? It was near. I'm pretty sure we did it for kind of a joint birthday thing. I almost think.
You
might be right, actually.
9 years ago.
Today? Is it today?
9 years ago today. What a lovely anniversary.
Oh, Jesus, there you go. Look at that. So this was actually, I didn't even notice that. That's nice. That's cool. But yeah, that was actually a really fun event, and it was. I would say it was much. It wasn't a very serious event, was it? It was.
It kept. Like, we literally talked about this before the stream, didn't we? And this was the Kill Team event is a little bit different to how Kill Team is now. It used to be like a points thing, and it was the couple of days before the Tau Riptide came out.
Yes. And they allowed it as a monster.
And they allowed it. So then you had like 20 players with Tau Riptides.
Just one. Just the Riptide on its own.
Just one Riptide against a kill team, which would generally consist of a squad of guardsmen and a chimera. I think that was maybe my one. That was my code.
And I think it would be fair to say we just found it more funny than maybe annoying, because it was just like, what the hell is this thing? And we were just like, I took my Grey Knights. We both painted up, I think, a fresh little squad each, hadn't we, or something? And but it was really, really good fun. I was just pointing out that that was 9 years ago, and I think maybe you and me are very different people than we were 9 years ago.
I think that, for instance, my kill team was, like I said, a chimera and probably a squad of veterans,
that sounds right.
Weapons and stuff. And clearly, by the sound of it, I didn't really take it that seriously, because I think I was mainly playing guard at the time anyway. And I was like, I just want to make a new chimera and some more veterans. And this is a great excuse to do it. So I think my attitude towards competitive or events hasn't changed. I will normally go with something I want to go with rather than something stuff. Like we were saying earlier, I took a night Chaos Tyrant to a tournament, and it's like, why would you ever do that? It's like 700 points of ridiculous.
It was fun. That was a fun weekend, though. To be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was good. And that was good as well. I think I did Black Templars as well, and I just took the kind of the salty army I wanted to take, which I think was before the Codex came out. I'm pretty sure.
Templars, yeah.
And
it was great fun, to be honest. So a positive for me, generally, I don't really try too hard at events. Like, for instance, I took Renegades and Heretics before they became legend to a grand tournament.
I remember that Hellstorm Wargaming one.
To Hellstorm Wargaming. So I was just like, look, I'm not going to win. If I win one game, it's brilliant. I'm literally going for the social element of these things, because I don't want to get... Like, I go to these events a lot of the time just to meet people, play new armies, have a nice time with my mates. If it's a weekend thing, go with my mates and... just chill out. And it's so stressful trying to win. So I'm more happy just to go,
I think we both made that comment. Yeah, we both made that comment where we've been playing against like someone who's really trying. And we both come away at the end and go, did you see that guy on table, blah, 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 doing that?
Yeah, they get very stressed.
And he was, like, sweat
I can get stressed, to be honest. Like, after, like, four games of getting thrashed, I can I can get stressed. I just want to win one. But generally, it's all good fun. What about everyone in the chat? What are your positive moments in gaming?
Or memories, whatever you want to. Little memories of
memories. Or Sly Marbo killing a Warhound Titan.
I still remember
That was a positive moment.
that was painful as well. Made me very upset, but also very funny, and I obviously see the funny side of that.
Hopping up behind him,
Yeah.
manning a quad gun, shooting him in the back. So the poll has ended, and apparently Chaos Knights are better than Imperial Knights.
I mean,
Oh my goodness, who would have known?
I can't really disagree.
Yeah, let's just shift it a bit more. Hello, Underdog Painting. Welcome.
Welcome. And yeah, I mean, actually, I suppose one of my fondest memories as well, actually, is I think that pockets game we had in my dad's garden with the barbecue.
That was a fun one. Actually, we had a picture of that on our.
I think we still got it somewhere. I'll tell you what. While you were chatting about it,
maybe on our Facebook, we've got that. That was before we started the studio.
Oh yeah, that was.
And that was like a very mixed game. That was like Imperial versus Xeno and Chaos. Because I remember taking a mix of World Eaters and Necrons, and we had Elder, possibly Tau.
Because I'm pretty sure we've still got a gaming group for it.
Yeah.
That we're a member of. Here we are, Apocalypse Games, fun, past, present, future.
There you go.
When was the last message in here was in 2017, just to give you an idea when we added something to this. But the game we had out. Oh, there's that one in Forge as well. Forgot about that one.
Mr. Blue is saying played the Grots at 500 points a couple of weeks ago and rolled it right over his sister Val. Nice. Swarm them! Swarm them!
Oh, this is going to be good, Dom. We're going to get a blast from the blasters. If you hang on for a minute, I'm downloading a few of these pictures, and I'll.
Okay, nice.
Going
to be painful.
I know.
Hello, Dave Holland. Apology accepted. Welcome to the party, Dave and Underdog. As you've kind of jumped in, we're just going through fond memories of the hobby and gaming. If you've got any, please put them in the chat. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, we've got plenty over the years. It's been some really fun stuff. Actually, one of my really fun ones. This is way before the studio. This is like when I was at school, playing Necromunda, and we did Zombie Apocalypse. And we all had our gangs. We had like, maybe 30 Necromunda models, and I literally got every other model in my collection, and they were zombies. And we just had to survive. And they're just like hoarding up these buildings, there's zombies everywhere. Really silly, but really good fun.
Oh my god! Did we really do this? Why did we do this? Sorry, I'm just looking at. Sorry, carry on, Dom. Apologies.
Yeah, so that's one of my fond memories. There's so many cool little games. Or not so long ago, Gavin. I don't know if Gavin's in the chat tonight. We did a Tremors game. That was quite fun. Where we had a Trigon popping up. And guardsmen whose convoy got ambushed had to work over bits of terrain and jump over things and to get to the other side. And if they fell on the ground, they would activate the Trigons to come up, which would then attack them. And that was quite a fun little game as well. Maybe we'll record some of these ones. They're nice little fun scenarios that people might be interested in watching.
Right, here we go. Be ready for some bad painting, guys. This is before me and Dom took painting seriously, I think.
Blast on the past.
So, desktop. Here we go. Let's grab my.
Having a lot of fun with AOS. Currently, had a 4-player game last weekend. My teammate was ready to concede turn 3. His faction got wiped. Oh, okay. You keep your face. But he went on to win it.
It's in the middle. You're off to one side.
Oh, there you go. That was a pretty epic. That is a pretty epic Apocalypse game, to be honest.
Yeah, you're actually also in these pictures. You're going to see the 3 stages of my Imperial Titan in different paint jobs
here. There we go. So, as you can see, on the left-hand side, we have got Chaos and Xenos.
Mm-hmm.
We have got Iron Warriors, World Eaters. I think my Word Bearers were very early, so they might not appearing in this one. Necrons, Demons. We've got 2 Wraith Knights. We've got a big old Elder, super heavy in the top left-hand corner. I can't remember which one that is.
Oh, that was
lots of grav tanks by the look of it. Jesus, lots of grav tanks there. Obviously, this is Daryl. A lot of his stuff here. On the Imperial side, looks like we've got a Knight. We've got some Black Templars. We've got a big chunk of Imperial Fist Terminators. We've got some. I think Simon was here with his Dark Angels. We got obviously your Titan there. We've got lots of Templars, Dark Angels, Imperial Fists, mega army there.
I've got another picture of
Cobra, that was it. Daryl's Cobra there.
Slightly different
Oh,
angle.
another one from an angle there. So Iron Warriors are definitely got a lot of stuff there. Got a little Iron Warrior Basilisk, a couple of Predators, 3 Predators there, Shadow Sword, couple of super heavies on the Imperial side there. Obviously, a Titan taking Pride of Praetor in the middle. Necrons walking up the centre.
By the way, that board
was
far too small.
Pace tables are the way forward. So this is using the realm of battle boards actually. Was this 3? So 6 by.
We did a 6 by one extra, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, 6 by 12, I think.
But if we want to go proper old school, here we go. This is actually sorry, the image quality on this is.
That's not particularly good there, Tom.
That's because it's too big. This is like old school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, look, we've got my guard.
Yeah.
So my guard against what we can see here, orcs, and up in the left, that is a Nurgle Plague Tower. Yeah, Nurgle Plague Tower there, orcs. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know if you guys would watch this battle report here, but yeah, Black Templars there, the guard.
It's just, I've got a couple of the bad shots here. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Oh, well, this is even. There's the Plague Tower there with the board that looks. I can't believe how bad that board looks. Why'd you let me do this?
And I've got a orky kind of bluted Baneblade there.
Slightly better one there. Your old guard there, Dom. Well, it's still
the old guard. They're still there. Them changed over time.
And
sorry, guys. I hope you're enjoying some of these blasts from the past.
Then I found one which is, I suppose, slightly more. Well, I say recent. I mean, these were properly old anyway. But this one was in. If you remember this one. Longboard we did in one of our friends' flats.
Oh yeah, this was when Knights had just come out, and I think we had the Chaos side had sneakily painted 3 Knights.
Yes.
So I joined our Chaos faction. That was quite a long board.
I've got one more in that one. I think I have. What's that one? No. It's that one there. Oh Christ. Okay, I'll do one more of that one because these aren't too bad. These photos. That's another over the top shot of that one we were looking at earlier. But yeah, that's.
Oh, you got Grey Knights there as well. It's a Dread Knight.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Good. And that looks like is there Tau on that side as well?
It might have been Gavin was there, but I think Gavin came to do the barbecue.
Gavin did a barbecue. I don't think he was particularly playing that much.
No.
Yeah, there you go. That's some of our old Apocalypse games. So we've always liked Apocalypse.
Yes. And yeah, hopefully we will get our little dose in this year at some point.
Won't be long. Won't be long.
Okay. I'll see. I will grab one more here because it's quite a. Let's see if I can find a good shot. Ah, yeah, there we go. This was quite a fun one as well. One last one because this is one of the.
Hopefully you're all enjoying these guys.
Sorry. Let's put that back on. Bosh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a Warhammer World.
Yeah.
On the Tau board.
Yes.
So actually, interesting fact about this game. So I don't know if we were doing the studio. We must have been. Yeah, we were doing the studio, I think, at this point. So we got Word Bearers, Chaos Knights, Orcs, and Iron Warriors against what did we have?
Dark Angels,
Dark
Knights,
Angels,
and I think it was Tau. I think there was some Tau as well. I think.
Yeah. I think on the table to our right, there was actually Winters playing Geeks Wargaming. And they were playing on one of the big boards there. I'm sure there's a battle report of that somewhere.
Look in the bottom left that picture as well. Do you remember my big old case I used to have? The big.
Oh yeah, the big boy case.
That was such a bad case.
Oh man, those boards were epic though. Absolutely epic boards. Obviously they don't have them at Warhammer World anymore because why would you want big lovely board like that? Let's have some battle mats. Nice. We've done so many good ones in the past.
I know. We need to get back on it, and because it's one thing I think. Also, I've noticed it's a bit weird, but if you go back to those previous games, the one thing we did quite a lot of variation back then of which sides were playing with which. whereas we try and do a much more kind of like this is Imperial, this is this, and this is this, and this is this. Whereas we had a couple there, we had quite a big mix between two factions there, which was quite interesting because but we're a bit more focused on
Yeah,
that
I
side of
think
things.
that's the thing. I think now we kind of we forge some form of narrative when we're playing a
Mm.
game, and so it's very easy to kind of go like chaos and chaos. But there's nothing like out of the ordinary. Maybe having a small detachment of orcs playing alongside chaos, for instance,
No,
or maybe Tau want to team up with the Imperial to face chaos or face an orc war. There's so many different options you can kind of come up with.
do you
There
remember
are
the
some
rules?
harder options to have, like demon hunters with chaos.
Yo, do you
I
remember
don't
the
know
rules for that? Do you
what the
remember
apocalypse ones comes the
Yeah,
apocalypse
they
and
had the
stuff like
little, they
that.
had the matrix, didn't they? Where they basically said that if you were this faction, you're kind of hostile or you're
Yeah, yeah. Watch
enemy.
your back and
Yeah,
stuff like
watch your
that.
back. Where if you had to pass leadership to take an action if you were playing with that faction.
Yeah, absolutely. Daryl there saying he wants to bring his Aldari back for an apocalypse game. I think you've played a couple of games now with your Aldari. Hopefully you've been enjoying them, Daryl. So yeah, yeah. If you get a new codex and you played a couple of games, like sometimes it's just a nice like palate cleanser to go. Actually, I really enjoy playing these guys,
Yeah.
rather than kind of going. Well, these guys are struggling a bit at the moment. I'm not sure I really want to play them. So no, it's cool. Especially, you're like we see there, your Aldari's got one of your oldest collections,
Yeah.
Daryl. So
Still
yeah,
very similar colour scheme as
nice.
well, which is good. It's almost the
Mm.
same. So, but part of, that's one of the things I suppose as well. Actually, is when you're trying to keep a good frame of mind while playing, is try and play something you enjoy as well, because that really helps a lot, regardless of whatever is going on. I mean, if you're going to a tournament scene, then yeah, there will be a part of you that probably wants to try and field something that kind of works. But I find actually if you take the approach that a Dom takes quite a lot of the time, which is I'm just going to take an army that I like to play with and then see what happens. Because sometimes you might surprise yourself as well. In fact, I remember we did that once for when I think we did demons and something for one of the because I think we actually got second in that.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Did we do demons?
I think
Or did we
because
do
I had demon I
guard?
thought I had a demon prince with my one.
Demons and guard. You
Demons and
did
guard.
Nurgle
That's right.
demons, and I
Yes.
did
Yeah.
guard, and we won a doubles
Yeah.
tournament
Yeah. No,
somehow.
we came second.
No, we won.
Did we win it?
Yeah, yeah, we
Oh.
won because the whole army was painted.
Oh. Another
Yeah,
reason to paint your armies, everyone.
yeah. There you go. Hello, Adam. How do you think these squats are gonna play to be different from the rest of the factions? Interesting question.
Well, I think
Do you want to get this one, Tom, while I think of a good answer?
well, I haven't really got a good answer because I never really followed squats that much. I mean, you put a couple of things up on our Instagram. I think you're going to see some interesting vehicular stuff. I suspect. And I think,
Land train.
yeah, and obviously the interesting is that they're not actually allied with the Imperium, are they? So
No, I think they're very kind of
yeah, themselves.
yeah, they're not part of the Imperium.
But
Their own
but I
particular
did see some
thing.
stuff about being allied with Tau.
Yeah, the demigorg.
Yeah.
Demigorg.
So,
Demigorg.
but I think
Demigorg.
you're gonna see some technological
Demi
based
something.
stuff. I think on a, but in a maybe in a, I suppose the best way maybe in a StarCraft esque style.
Yeah, I mean the thing is the squats. They were originally back in the day. They were there and it got worked out. And I can't remember who it was. If it was Jervis Johnson or Andy Chambers, but there's this forum post that one of them did, and they said the reason they were removed is because they were so similar to the Imperium. It was just essentially going to be a mimic of that and just space dwarves. So there was nothing particularly unique about them. So I think what we know of the past, I wouldn't count on that. I think they are going to go somewhere different with this. What I would kind of like to see is some form of, although they're small and squattish, the name, I'd love to see them quite highly mobile, as in they can kind of like them either mechanized or they've got some form of getting across the battlefield.
I think we'll
short
see some
range
subterranean.
blasting.
I think we'll see some
Yeah,
subterranean.
that's what I'd love to see.
Yeah.
Is something that's a little bit different. Maybe you can kind of take away a little bit from like the likes of Drakari in some ways. Maybe a mix between Drakari and possibly Sisters, where Sisters have got a lot of short range firepower. And Drakari are quite mobile. I think it'd be quite cool to see that. I think the squats use Tau Tech Fusion. Yeah, they're going to have some decent guns on them. Is that one of my D20s?
Might be.
You can do that.
I don't know. You left it.
What?
You can have it back in 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna have some very nice stuff. To be fair, Andy, I think they're gonna have really good models coming out.
I think it's probably gonna make the guard look pretty bad.
I don't know. God are gonna have to come up with something pretty unique.
That's basically
to be
what
honest.
I think they're gonna have to. This is what I think it will push that particular range in hopefully a new direction.
But I don't think they're going to mimic what God have in any way. I think they're going to be so different
I just
from
meant
God.
from quality. I didn't mean.
Oh, the aesthetics. They're going to have deathcore. Their
Yeah.
deathcore going to definitely come out for God.
Yeah. And by the way, here's another positive thing. This thing about sitting here. Speculation can be very fun sometimes. And
Absolutely.
the rumor mill can be highly amusing as well sometimes, because I'm pretty sure both you and me and several other friends have all been caught out by someone posting something and then we're sort of going, oh yeah, that's definitely happening, and it's like, oh no, it's not. This is completely different to what I was thinking.
I'll tell you what, actually, to be fair to Games Workshop, what I loved is that we saw the first glimpse of Tau on April Fools.
Yes.
And we're all like, hey, well, that Games Workshop, brilliant, nice one. And then the next day, like, no, it's not April Fools. They're coming out. Yeah, they're actually coming out. Yeah.
But yeah, that was very yeah, that was nice. That was it. Yeah, they played the fiddle there very well. But I think actually, I suspect a lot of people probably thought it was true based on the fact they brought it out on April Fool's Day, because it is so what Games Workshop would do.
I think also the quality of that trailer was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you look at some of the stuff that comes out on Warhammer TV and the Bolt Action, and you're like, all right, well, it's cool, the story's all right, but the animation could be worked on. And then this trailer came out, you're like, oh my goodness, like this is good quality animation.
But maybe that's how we've got to look at it. Maybe that's what's happening in the background. Although obviously in the past we've confessed maybe not being as impressed as we could have been with what's been released. They're obviously accumulating a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that just shows even in some of their other animations where it's starting to bleed through into their day-to-day. And they'll come out, I suspect that they'll end up having a few like go-to people at the end of this, which will do a lot of their animations. And that's where the positive part of it is going to come out of it for them. Finding that kind of, a group of good animators that can produce good quality content at a decent pace.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, definitely. No. So Andy, Adam, I hope that kind of answered your question to a certain degree before we went on a bit of a tangent. Am I getting them? I don't know, to be honest. I love what we've seen of them. They're cool, but I don't know. I don't know another 40k army, but I'm happy with what I've got at the moment.
I think I'll be tempted, but I think what I've learned probably in the last couple of years is that actually you're better off not buying stuff when it first comes out now. You're better off waiting for that range to mature a little bit before purchasing any of it, because you just don't know what they're going to add to it in the first year. I mean, Sisters of Battle is a very big example of that.
Yep. Gene Stealer Cult as well.
Yep.
They've got some brand new bits as well. They look. The range when it came out was cool. Or Mechanicus, Guitari. What that range got suddenly increased dramatically.
Sisters is a very good example. I mean, you came in at the second wave essentially. I went in at the first, and I ended up collecting all the cool stuff I wanted. And then I was like, oh, but it's literally just Battle Line Sisters and a couple of tanks, and then it's like on the second.
All the other stuff.
Have all of this really cool stuff. Like, no, I should have waited. Have you guys got a Nid army? No, I have been tempted by Nids, as Dom probably remembers at some point. I've kind of dabbled with the idea of it, but I think at the moment, I think both of us are very armied out at the moment. I have a suspicion.
I've played Nids.
No, but we just don't.
I've had Nids years ago, and they were quite fun to play, and I quite like the idea of Nid armies. However, this is going to be my little guilty secret. If Dave Holland's here as well, I've been watching Bolt Action Battle Reports, and I'll tell you what, I love 40k. Disclaimer: 40k is brilliant. I'm going to carry on playing 40k. Excellent stuff. But Bolt Action, I was like, it's so simplistic in some ways there. And historical wargaming has kind of piqued my interest in some ways.
Well, I'm always game for it if you want to give it a go.
Yeah. I think we've kind of looked in the past at different systems. But yeah, so Nids, no, Nids got some cool stuff, but not at the moment. I've got, yeah, I think I stopped playing Nids because for me, the army just didn't have character, or the character that I
That's
can kind of attach myself to. It's probably the
I
best
think
way
that's
of
a very
saying it.
fair comment because it's trying to. I think they had one named character, didn't they? Which was old.
Ah, yeah, well, they had the Red Terror
Well,
and
yeah.
One Eye, yeah. But yeah, essentially, what happens is you conquer the planet, you all jump in a big pool of acid and get eaten by the High Fleet, and off you go again. It guys. You think Angron is coming back in the Nid versus Orc War in the
We're due another
I
Prime
can't
Market of
spell.
some
Also, I
description.
can't kind of wish the Empress Children came back. 100% World Eaters are getting their own thing
Mm.
because they definitely need it.
All of the core
Angron,
Chaos Gods will. Yeah, definitely. So,
yeah, Angron. I really hope. Like we've seen, who's the 30k Great Demon of Khorne, the one who was getting beaten up by Sanguinius. Yeah, or getting beaten up by Sanguinius. And you look at that sculpt and you're like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So I kind of think Angron is on the card somewhere. I would love to see an Angron model come out. And there's so many people, so many World Eater players that have stopped their collection and are just like waiting for the next step. And so many other people that want to do World Eaters that are like, I don't want to invest yet because it's not there, but it's on the cusp. It's going to be there soon.
They have the
So
technology.
yeah, World Eaters are yeah. Yeah, Cabanda. Emperor's Children. I don't think they're coming yet.
I think
The
they
rumor
will,
is that there's.
but
Yeah, I don't
it's a
think
weird
it's.
faction. It's a weird faction to try and, I think aesthetically work. I think that's the problem because I don't know. Obviously noise marines are a thing. You've got
Yeah,
but that's pretty much. I suppose you could say something about World Eaters, couldn't you? With just being berserkers, it's a similar kind of thing, but
yes and no. The
but
thing is,
it's
with World Eaters, you've got Red Butchers,
yes,
Terminators, and there's nothing saying you can't introduce more stuff into that range because let's look at AOS. The corn range in AOS is pretty huge.
yes.
And they can kind of take a lot of that over and go, look, actually, let's do this for World Eaters. Like, imagine like World Eater bikers.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? Like, we know
them.
Chaos bikers are on the cards for Chaos Space Marines. It'd be cool if they put that across to World Eaters and they got something. Emperor's Children, the aesthetics have slowly been building on with the AOS stuff, and I think it's not coming out yet. I think they are working on it, but I think World Eaters are definitely going to be coming out a lot sooner than Emperor's Children, and I think it's going to be humongous, absolutely humongous.
I think the whole chaos thing is going to be humongous. To be fair,
yeah.
Even though it's taking time, and it obviously that's one thing that's slightly painful from your respect anyway, definitely. But I think when it does drop, I think there's going to be a couple, maybe 2 or 3 waves of stuff because they're not going to be able to fit it in one. I think it's going to be huge. I think whatever they're doing is going to be massive. Obviously, you still got Chaos Demons on the tail of that as well, wherever that ends up.
Yeah. Chaos Demons, exactly. I think as well, like with World Eaters, they have, even with Forge World, you've seen some unique corn stuff coming out for them. I'm trying to think what they're called now. The little buggy things.
ATV things, you mean?
The little like 6-legged little like mite-like creatures.
You've got one, haven't you?
Quickly. Yeah, I can't think what they're called.
They had a weird name, didn't they? No, I can't remember what they are now either.
Well, you got like brass scorpions. Yeah. You've got there you go, blood slaughterers.
That's it, blood slaughterers. Yeah.
Blood slaughterers are cool. I'd love to see a Games Workshop version
would be
of
nice
that.
as well. If they did
Decimators, yep. They could roll in Fabius with Emperor's Children.
I don't know if they'd do that. He's kind of distanced himself from that kind of. He's become a mercenary, hasn't he?
I mean, in the Fabius novels, he's very reluctant to kind of be part of the Emperor's Children because there's a short span of time where he was kind of like in charge, and then kind of went, actually, this isn't for me. I'm going off and playing with like body parts somewhere
I
else.
want to make a new
Um,
horse.
yeah, and so yeah, I think he'd be very reluctant. I think you could
Yeah.
fight him alongside, but he wouldn't be taking a key role in the
I
Emperor's
think I
Children.
think he stays neutral because he's got so many avenues of helping all of the Chaos Marine factions with gene seed issues that why would he ally himself permanently with one faction?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think he can further his agenda
Mm.
by like playing everyone. Because it's quite cool. On the side note, if anyone has a chance to either listen to or read the Fabius novels, it's brilliant because essentially he runs a Hogwarts for Chaos Space Marines in the Warp. And basically every legion, like you get the apothecaries that will come and join Hogwarts, Chaos Hogwarts, and learn a bit, and like they can further
Okay.
their studies.
There's
Honestly,
right
absolutely recommend them. I was kind of a bit dubious at first. I was like, I'm not that interested in Fabius, but absolutely brilliant.
We've
Absolutely
got a
brilliant.
scenario there for the Crusade.
Yeah,
4 Chaos
Hogwarts.
factions. We could have Fabius in the middle,
Yeah,
and we could have everyone scoring points for their
yeah.
house.
The Sorting Helm.
Yeah.
Kodok.
You are undivided.
Corn.
Instantly turns Butcher's nails on or something.
Yeah.
Ah!
Straight in. Well, Chaos Space Marines be the next Codex creep everyone is moaning about. Can't see it personally. No, they won't. No.
I think it's going to be a fair release. I think I don't believe I'm going to say this. Having looked at what they've released for Knights and many other things, I feel they might be starting to get a very similar theme of how they're making things better in each codex. I hope. Anyway, I mean, looking at the Knight balance, I mean, looks fairly. It just looks like they've just taken the weapons and gone. Let's not make this D6 anymore. Let's make this actually a thing. But they did that. They've also done that with the Tau Codex. They've done that with the Nid Codex. So logically, they should carry on doing that. I mean, I suppose the only losers are the ones that came out at the very beginning. But they were quite powerful anyway. So
Yeah.
as long as Marines
It's a hard one.
else.
I think the thing is with Chaos Space Marines is ultimately they are Space Marines with extra bits attached, and they're going to be limited by that. I don't think they're going to be OP. I just hope for a good codex. I'm not saying a strong codex. I just want a codex.
I think where they'll become
balanced.
OP is where their fringe units become more powerful. I think rather than necessarily the Space Marine parts of it, but the corrupted units and the chaos infected units and all those are the ones that hopefully the drive for more power come, because that's kind of the point in chaos. You get corrupted and you become. Take Nurgle as an example. The Death Guard Codex. All of the stuff there have been blighted in some way by Nurgle, and that's why they've become more powerful. They're not standard. They're not normal Marines anymore. And the same you could be said about. You could say the same about Khorne Berserkers, I suppose, couldn't you? Because they've just been driven so mental by Khorne that they've become killing machines beyond what a normal Chaos Space Marine could do. Abaddon's supposed to be this kind of guy who's retained some of his tactical knowledge and not corrupted by any of the gods, and has owned all 4 parts of it in some way that help him in a more clear manner rather than being corrupted, which makes him, in my opinion, more dangerous than some of the other ones because he still thinks clearly.
Primaris Chaos Space Marines. No, Andy, no. I think what they'll do is lean into the cultist, not the cultist, the possessed element of that. I don't.
What I'm thinking.
I really, I kind of hope. I think there's going to be a bit of a scale up slightly, but I don't think there's going to be a dramatic one.
Well, I mean, the scale up you can see in their latest kits anyway. They've done that already, haven't they?
Yeah. Look at the
up slightly. The Havocs have got a bit more bulky. The standard Space Marines, Chaos Space Marine kit was a bit more bulky as well, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. Not massively, but probably similar to what they're going to release in the Horus Heresy box set, I suspect.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to be anything insane. I just hope, like I said, for a good codex. I think this. I don't think there's anything worse than if you're a player of a particular faction and you love that faction for the reasons, and then your codex come out and it's insanely powered, and then people go, "Oh, I see why you're playing Chaos Space Marines." And you're like, "No, No, what?
You're saying this after giving up a big.
Yeah, I've been playing them for years. They're like, yeah, of course you have. Yeah, you've been playing those for years. Wink. And you're like, no!
That was the Iron Hands thing, wasn't it? I remember that when that happened.
Yeah.
There's some poor. I mean, admittedly, there were a lot of bandwagon players, and sometimes it can be fun to jump on the bandwagon. I did it with Grey Knights a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it again because it's a very expensive thing to do. Now I've got an army that sits on my shelf that I'm really not that actually interested in, because it's just not really my style of army. So you've got to be careful with bandwagoning. I've seen a lot of players do it by sort of jumping in, going, "Oh, I'm going to grab this entire army. I'm going to play it to death." Then the codex changes, and I'm going to sell it all and get another army.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
play 40k.
yeah, just keep your army. At some point, it's going to get strong again. Like, I think everyone, if you're going to get an army, let's get that army that somehow kind of, speaks to you on a different level, not just like, oh well, these guys are really tough at the moment. Let's just go. Actually, I'll tell you what, I love Blood Angels. I'm going to play Blood Angels because I've got some brilliant stuff. I love the books about them. I love the aesthetics. I'm just going to play them because I want to champion that faction. And then, who knows, 10th edition comes out and you might go, oh my goodness, this codex is insane. And it's only, here's a little spoiler, it's only going to be insane for a little while before the next one comes out.
No, it stays the same all the way through.
Yeah. But yeah, just enjoy an army, really, to be honest. And I kind of think, as for Primaris, it's not going to happen. Chaos Space Marines.
I'll tell you what's quite interesting on that particular point. Obviously, I've done Argent Shroud for my sister battle. There's a big part of me now which is I've done Bloody Rose again. That's what I did originally. And I look at them and go,
yeah.
Oh, I kind of wish I'd done it. I mean, obviously, I know I could. I could go back and do that.
Kind of why you need to make your own faction, and then you can just switch between them.
I know. It was more the colour scheme I liked. I don't mind my colour scheme, to be fair. It's nice. It's just I think there's a bit of me that has that kind of attachment because that's the first one I did for my sisters all those years ago. I just think, it'd be quite nice to have another crack at it.
Yeah, I mean they've got some good stuff actually. Bloody Rose. They're essentially the Black Legion or the Ultramarines of sisters. Right. So you need chasing a meta requires a well-paid job. That is correct. Absolutely. That's why I don't bother doing it.
Or Daryl.
Yeah, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I know Daryl.
When I was playing my older Dom. Jeez.
You wait till you get your Chaos Codex.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Tom, I haven't seen his Eldari until the new Codex dropped, and then suddenly they're back out again.
I would avoid. Yeah, don't play him.
Just saying.
Do we 3D print bit? No. Neither of us have a 3D printer.
Do you guys 3D print any bits? No, I don't have a 3D printer.
Not planning to either, personally. Not for models anyway. I'm firmly in the camp that I think with the hobby thing, if you can't afford the hobby, it's just probably not a good idea to be in it. It's an expensive thing to do. If you can't afford it, I don't know. If you're doing it for cheapness wise, you don't get the same quality out of it yet. I mean, admittedly, that will change, in my opinion. But
yeah, I don't know. It's like 3D printing's a bit of a dubious subject generally. I mean, model wise, well, let's go back to your statement. If you can't afford it, don't get in it. There's an element of truth there.
Yeah.
There's different ways of paying for it.
Yeah.
Different ways of playing for like we said actually at the very beginning. You said about your the mission cards.
Yes.
And there was 17 quid, and I'm like, I'm not going to pay 17 quid for them. It's good that you've got them, and there's other ways of getting them. But essentially, they play no role in the game. You use them to set the mission up, and then that's it.
No, they do.
Oh, do they actually have a proper role?
Yeah.
Second-hand market is the best way to get into. Yeah, that is true, Daryl.
I think you might need to reread what Tempest of War is. Because you get a deck each while you're playing.
Oh, okay.
And you draw the cards as you're playing, like in Maelstrom.
Oh, okay. And then, but still £17.
It is a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
That's too much.
Yeah, and ultimately that was all I bought this month for 40k, to be fair. I didn't buy anything else, and that's mainly because there's nothing else really interesting me. Anyway, sorry, I might have jumped on the whole cost thing a bit instantly, because the one thing that a lot of people that I know that do 3D printing or wanted to do it did it because they're trying to save money on models. And what I understand, that's a valid thing to do it for. I think if you're doing it for that sole reason, just don't play the hobby, because it's such an expensive thing to do, even if you're 3D printing, and you won't get the quality. You'll just be unhappy. So,
Yeah, Games Workshop is
yeah,
a very expensive
it
hobby.
is.
I
Yeah,
mean, the thing is, though, if you want to play it, like Daryl
yeah,
said in the chat, you've got the second-hand market,
yeah. Oh,
and
that's
that's
a better
always
option.
good to get. Yeah,
Yeah,
and a 3D. I think a 3D. If I got a 3D printer,
yeah.
it would be 100% for the terrain.
And
You can
bits,
make terrain out of
bits and
that,
terrain.
and
Yeah,
yeah, I think generally for actual models it doesn't work. But it's hard. Like the model, like so bolt action. How many intercessors do you get for 30 quid? 5?
I think you get 10.
Let's have a quick look at the Games Workshop website.
Not heavy. I think heavy you get 5, and normal you get 10. You should still get 10 per box.
Let's load this up quickly.
It's a box of 10 now, I'm pretty sure.
Let's have a quick little look at these.
A bad idea.
These prices.
Most intercessor scores. Yes, 10-man
score. Oh my goodness! Yeah. Right, heavy.
Heavy intercessors are not good. They are bad. Yes, I agree with that. That
40 quid.
Yeah, and you only get 5, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you just get 5?
I suppose the argument is they're in Gravis armor, but that's a pretty bad. It's a pretty bad argument, really, because they're not that different to the standard intercessors.
That is insane. I didn't even realise there were that. What? So you get 10 assault intercessors for 37 quid, or 5 heavy intercessors for 40 quid. What?
You get different weapons on the heavy intercessors, and they are in the thicker armor, but that doesn't. I still don't think that justifies the decrease in number of models. So, but to be honest, I'm not really interested in getting them anyway, so it doesn't really bother me.
No. Well, it's not about if someone's interested. It's trying to work out why you get half the intercessors for more the cost of like assault intercessors.
The only difference is they're in a different armor set. They're in the Gravis armor, the Gravis armor set, I believe, not the standard intercessor.
Yeah, but
it's not good justification either way.
No way. That's insane.
But I don't. If I don't see many people with them, so I don't think.
Well, I wouldn't for 40 quid for 5.
Yeah,
that's some crazy amount of money. But yeah, like Mr. Blue said, historicals have a competitive market which keeps the price down. You can't trademark the M4. Yeah, because they don't own. No one owns the IP for a Sherman. No. Games Workshop obviously have the IP for everything they sell. Well,
that came with that rebrand they did, wasn't it? That was one of the big things they made a big show about the when they changed to Astra Militarum, Adeptus Astartes. There was a lot of So anyway, So which bolt action armies are we buying?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've been looking at them. Actually, let's have a quick look at Warlord Games.
I'm on there right now. I'm having a quick look.
So a box of basic infantry. How much is a box of basic infantry on there? Let's just say, I don't know. Let's look at the British for a moment.
I'll look at
British Army. Okay.
So a Grenadiers box set for a German Grenadiers box set.
Mm-hmm.
It's £35, but it looks like you get definitely more than 10 in there. 30 infantry in that.
30 infantry for how much?
£35. So it's about
£30.
Just about a little bit over £1 a model. But
so I've got the British one here, which is 30 for 35. Where you look at the Primaris, the heavy intercessors are £8 per model. Or
I
the other ones
the only other thing you have to sort of think about
£3 a model.
The models are a lot smaller.
£3 a model.
And there's no customization at all.
But So the quality. The quality on Games Workshop, it's brilliant when it comes to what you've got there. However, if we're talking about price,
value for money is probably
I know. I think there is some customization with the bolt action stuff. I think
Oh,
you
really?
can do a little bit with them, depending if they're metal or plastic.
If I'm totally honest, having a looked at their bigger box sets, I would probably just buy one of their £390 box sets if I was going all in on it, because they
Yeah.
look like they're fantastic value for money actually.
So you got like the British starter set there.
Yeah. I'm looking at the well. What's this one here?
Yeah. Sorry, we're going on a tangent here. It's bolt action, the same scale. Oh, hang on. Keep
See,
crafting.
here's an example. If I send this to you, I'll put this into chat, so you can click on it as well if you want them.
Yep.
That there, yes, it's £390, but you get quite a good amount of stuff in that, in my opinion, for that money, including vehicles, artillery, terrain pieces, which actually look pretty nice.
Mr. Blue put a good point there. That if you don't like it, you just move to another rule set. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
28mm scale. Yeah, so it's pretty much. It's pretty close, if not the same. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there are obviously other games are available, but yeah, cost-wise, going back to the original point there, from Adam and from yourself, it's the cost of Games Workshop is crazy, and a lot of people can't afford to get into it. And you have got the second-hand market to kind of launch away in there. I mean, there's other ways of getting into the hobby, but the amount of stuff you need to get started,
that's the warning bit. It's not just the models that's the problem. It's it's a great game, but at the same time, it's a very expensive game just to get your first game in on nowadays. You can go out and get a starting collecting set, but even they don't include the codex nowadays, so you don't get the books with it. Whereas a lot of these ones seem to include a book with them as well. But
yeah, I'd have to look into it a bit more. But you've
to
got...
Black Toe Studios soon. Bold action.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, games. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say one is better than the other when it comes to rule system. They're definitely different rule systems.
I think
from what I've seen of bolt action is a lot more simplistic in a lot of ways, which I think some people might enjoy. Other people might love the more tactical stuff of 40k. And having several books and different resources to try and make an army. But yeah, I just think it's worth talking about generally.
I said I'm very much up for trying other game systems out. It doesn't bother. It's more, as we've said in the past, it's about time. I mean, that's one thing you have to be careful in this type of hobby, is that if you pick something up, you don't want to just go. I mean, you can probably admit to some of this, is that you've bought some other fringe Games Workshop games, and you can tell me how many times you've played them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about support.
Kill Team, the flying aviation one.
I haven't brought any Kill Team stuff. We did the Shadow Wars of. I did it for the models. I didn't do it for the game.
Oh no, but our point is we've bought it, but we tried it like once or twice, but we never really.
Yeah.
Got really into it. That's the thing with it. And also it's just I'll just point out that if you're going to get something, you kind of want to actually be able to play it. Otherwise, it doesn't really feel like you kind of made it worth your while. And
I think also you want the support of the company that's doing it, because I think a lot of people kind of go with these Kickstarters, which are great if you can afford to do these Kickstarters. Once again, we're talking about price and value of money.
You're right.
You can invest in one of these Kickstarters and then the game just falls apart. At least when you're investing in something like Games Workshop, it's still going to be there. I mean, the rule set might change, your codexes might change. Fundamentally, a tactical marine is still a tactical marine. And if you want to play casually, brilliant. Historical wargaming, I think the other way we're looking at it is the models are there. Let's say Warlord Gaming falls apart. There's always going to be some format to play Second World War games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or Napoleonic. But something
it's
Infinity, for instance, or Guild Ball. That's an example.
Yeah, that's a good one.
People invested in it. The company just went, no, enough's enough, and then it had to be kind of run by the community. A bit like Blood Bowl, actually, years ago. It was kind of like literally forgotten about, and people carried on playing, and then Games Workshop basically brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, but with Games Workshop, they've done that on a very gradual since their third-party games. It's not been a big glut of them. But there is now, but that's because they've redone pretty much all of them now, except for maybe like Epic is one that still needs to come back of some description.
Yeah, well, Gorka Morka, Epic, Wartime,
yeah,
Battlefleet Gothic.
Battlefield Gothic. See, that's one I would actually be interested in. Is Battlefield Gothic? That's one that I always kind of like the look of.
Yeah.
But never.
Do you think the value is in the IP? Yes.
100%.
Games Workshop can charge you whatever they want.
Because it's an interesting setting, and it's now they've owned that setting like properly. That is, as much as anyone wants to go away and say, oh, they've stolen ideas from here, they've stolen ideas from there, they've branded it, they've copyrighted it, it is theirs now. There's nothing anyone's going to do about that, wherever they got the ideas from for both settings, because it's all been very cleverly done with name changes and things like that, so they actually own. But the thing is, I can't think of many more awesome stories than how like the 41st Millennium came about as a story in its whole. It's actually a really good story, really.
I completely agree. Like, we're talking about, it can be perceived that we're talking about this in a negative way. However, it's kind of the positives of Games Workshop keep us in the hobby.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, well, this is great value for money. It's the stories they tell and the memories you can have from playing these hobbies and these games. Because we looked at the Apocalypse games, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
yes.
The scale of these games is just brilliant. I absolutely love it. And there's elements of the hobby I don't like, but we're not talking about those today. We're talking about what I do like. And I think if you can span out into other games to maybe get what you're missing from Games Workshop, brilliant. And once again, if your money's going back into the hobby in some form, like we're talking about money, like you can't afford the Games Workshop, maybe Bolt Action, or maybe there's another game that has a lower
Lord of the Rings
entry fee. Well, maybe.
I haven't checked their. Let's have a look at their pricing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's even worse.
It's probably is.
Oh, £45 for 12 models. What? That can't be right.
Oh no, I said the wrong thing. I've upset him again.
Lake Town Militia Warband. I'm looking at the first one. I'm not going through this. How many do you get in here?
I'm going to click on Minas Tirith and I'm going to have a look.
What? 12 models.
Okay.
Right now.
I know it's worse.
No, don't go to Middle Earth. Don't go to Middle Earth. Avoid Middle Earth.
Minas Tirith.
Take the Eagles.
3 models for £37.50.
Yeah.
So, admittedly, these are on Forge World. So,
this is Games Workshop. This one.
Yeah. I'm on Forge World. I'm looking on Forge World ones.
Oh right, okay.
So they've got a Lord of the Rings section on there as well.
Okay.
Middle Earth, I should say, a Middle Earth section.
Man, that's hard, isn't it? I love Middle Earth, but I'm not looking at the prices now. I'm like, oh my goodness. Some of them aren't too bad. Those little Hobbit dwarfs. How many of them do you get? 24 for £30. That's not too bad. I think. Chain of Command, need less tanks and bolt action. There you go. There's all sorts. I can't think of another universe like 40k. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
40k universe is amazing.
And that's why, despite, as we were saying, any kind of negative thoughts on it, it'll always draw us back in to play it, because we always, the setting's brilliant, and ultimately, regardless of the cost, we even go out there and buy models that we kind of look and go, oh god, that's quite expensive, but we'll still go, but it's only the thing I really want for my army, and I really want it, and we ignore the cost, and that's unfortunately the danger of Games Workshop.
And the thing is, like, so buying new from Games Workshop, I can't even remember when I bought something from Games Workshop.
Directly, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They've set it up in a way that the third party resellers are the more attractive option, and actually, it almost goes to the point where you kind of think, actually, I think the price they want to sell them at is actually at what the price that the third party resellers are actually selling it at. Because it takes the pain off their distribution system. Because obviously they don't have a huge, if you think about it, if you took away all the the independent retailers, they wouldn't probably sell half as much of stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And that's actually where that's where the real money comes from for them. I think people buy
Yeah.
direct in store. I mean, I haven't been in a Games Workshop for probably years now, actually.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
I try and go into a Games Workshop,
Mm.
and I'll buy a paint because I feel bad for the shop
You
people
shouldn't
that
feel
kind of
bad,
talk
though.
to you.
You shouldn't feel bad.
Well, that's just my personal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go into games. I love the idea of just talking about hobby with
Yeah.
people. I'm more than happy just to go in there and just chat to people about hobby.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's just
Captain Jack.
But yeah, going in and actually purchasing something from them, I don't think I've done that for many a year now. Except up in okay, that's a slight lie. We went to Games Work, it was to Warhammer World. We bought something there, obviously, but that in my opinion, that's just something you do when you go up there. You kind of have to get something up there because it's silly. You travel all that way, you should come back with a souvenir.
Yeah. Right, so Captain Jack then. Flip side, Games Workshop is expensive, but if you want to get into it as a starter, they have 3 price points to starter sets that give you a varied level of rules. Yeah, I think that's quite good though. The start things, you've got the different sets you can get into. That's quite cool. You don't have to buy the massive box set, which I don't know how much that is. Adam, I've got all my stuff in the cellar. I think it's pretty 3rd edition box set, as I remember. You know, it's released. Give it to brother. Badly painted Black Templars, I think. We all
have badly painted ones at one point.
We've all got badly painted Black Templars, haven't we? Yeah, that got you back for your comment the other week.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that goes back to that point, Adam, that a tactical marine is always going to be a tactical marine. If you brought it as a kid, still use it. Fine.
Even if they do look quarter the size now almost. But
well, that means they can hide behind cover better.
This is true.
Yeah, it's smaller. Yeah. Oh, yeah, modeling. I didn't do it. I swear.
It's your model.
Yeah. But, however you want to play the game. If you wanted to play it on a more competitive level, you might think about buying new stuff. However, you just want to play your brother or you play your mates. Who cares? Just have fun. You don't need to win to have fun.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna win. Gotta have fun, Tom.
I mean, put it this way: it took me several years to beat Dom. To be fair, in a game of 40k, in fact, actually, I think it must have been 5 or 6 years. So I won my first game against Dom.
There you go. And yeah, that says how enjoyable it is playing.
I carried on playing, and I would like to say that maybe from Dom's point of view, I was probably one of the only people that came back for more, regardless of losing loads and didn't get frustrated about it. In my opinion,
it's very good. But yeah, I think the thing is about a lot of it is like the social element of just having fun with your mates, just relaxing, a bit of escapism, a bit of a stressful world out there. What?
Drinking between losses.
Yeah. Why do I keep doing this to myself?
I won't do that again.
Why do the dice never give me the numbers I need?
Making me dice are making me drunk.
Yeah. But yeah, it's about having fun. Doesn't matter what game you're playing. Could be Warhammer, fantasy, could be AOS, could be Infinity, could be 40k, could be bolt action, could be,
But yeah, so anyway, we're going to start bolt action because Dom's mentioned it too many times now that I can't ignore it.
Bolt action.
So I'm going to buy him.
Well, I want to watch it get played a couple of times. I'd rather play a demo game somewhere than just invest straight into it.
I know. You know me though. I'm just going to buy your models. I'm going to buy your models now.
Yeah, no, it's just going to get. There you go.
I'm doing it
You're playing the finish. But what?
You want the finish? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to get you Polish actually.
Oh, brilliant! Actually, Polish is quite good. Yeah. Got Gene Hackman. Bridge too far.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that film. That's not me.
No,
so easily motivated.
I think it's probably one of both of our favourite films. Actually, that's one of our both favourite war films. So we watch that every now and then. It's I think I actually got it on a streaming service somewhere. I've actually bought it. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, things like that, they're really cool. Maybe I'll play Japan.
Is there any other bolt action players here? We've also got Mr. Blue. Anyone else played it or experimented?
The other warlord options here. So.
Yeah, who's experimented with a historical war game and decided it's not for them actually. Hopefully.
What's this one here? Well, we could just buy an epic battle in a box like Waterloo.
Saw that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They better come painted. They better come
painted. No. How many models do you get one of them?
I'm just having a look right now, mate.
It must be a summary on there. I've looked at it. It's like epic.
Oh, they don't say units. It says it's not like models. It's units. So 10 units of line infantry, 3 units of 95th rifles. Yes.
Blue and 95th rifles.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with Shaft, all right?
Every time.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look like it would be fun to paint.
Yeah, 10 units of line infantry. How many you get a
I'm just
thing of line
I'm
infantry?
just getting the picture
Oh,
in a minute.
yeah, get the picture. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Well,
Here we go. Let's put that in there. Hopefully this will come out as... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Is that not going to let me download it? Oh, hopefully I'll give it a go. There we go.
regular bot action players. Yep. I might actually pop down there soon, Andy.
Here we go. Oh, God. It's a bit big.
So she said.
I see. Okay.
Cool. Get it down. Get it down. Enhance. Enhance. That's a lot of stuff.
Do you want to do that?
I mean, the scale, it's going to be a bit of a challenge there, mate, to be honest.
I don't think my eyes can handle it, to be fair now. I think I'd cry.
Just keep them red and blue. These are the British.
That would have to be like a joint effort on both sides. There's no way either of us could sit down and go, yeah, I'll crack this out in the afternoon. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just doing another unit of line infantry. I've got 9 more to go.
It looks cool.
No, I'm insisting on making all these horses different colours.
they've also got like Hail Caesar as well, which is interesting. Which is a Roman style one, which looks quite cool as well. But they've got some really weird. They've also got 2000 AD and sci-fi options. Judge Dredd.
Well, Games Workshop used to do Judge Dredd back in the day.
This
like every, like, I love history. History's amazing, and looking at them, so many kind of, pique my interest. You've got like black powder, so you can go like Napoleonic on there. You've got pike and shot, so you can do like English Civil War. Or you've got like Hail Caesar, but I think Hail Caesar is one of them where I'm like, well, you can do like 1066 and
doesn't look that fun.
Oh, you can do on Hail Caesar. You can do Dark Ages. So there are other options on there.
Could do Conflict 47.
Yeah, it's kind of like alternate kind of history. I think.
Interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, Crab Walker.
Yeah, there are any of them in the World War.
Jesus, the Soviet Mastodon Heavy Walker, £78 for that one.
Where's that? Oh, Conflict 47.
Conflict 47, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
£78.
It must be. I suspect it's quite big though. I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I don't. It's quite. I mean, because we got so used to the scale of 40k, it's quite hard to actually look at other things and go, how big is that one exactly?
Exactly.
You kind of get you kind of judge by, it's the size of a knight. That's kind of your big tabletop bit, and then
your big centerpiece. Yeah. It's very hard to try and work out what's what, really, doesn't it? Yeah, so I think there's all different options out there you can kind of look into a little bit more and have experiment. I mean, one of my hobby things I did a couple of years ago before COVID, I went to a wargaming kind of event, and it was all sorts of different war games, and it was really enjoyable just seeing different table layouts for random games, like a Walking Dead kind of game, and just like, this is cool. Like, everyone, doesn't matter what system you're playing, but everyone here has a similar interest. Like, they like toy soldiers, and they like rolling dice and spending time with their friends. And and I think that's the main thing you take away from what we're doing now.
And I think actually, some of the things that I say is, I think I sometimes lost that feeling. I think in the last couple of years, not intentionally, but sometimes you're sitting there going, I think treating it more like bit more than just a hobby sometimes, and I think that's the danger, especially when we're doing what we do. Sometimes you can sort of get up and go, I've got to paint this, because I have to, and you lose.
Well, the fortunate thing
Yeah.
for us compared to like a
Mm.
lot of the YouTubers out there who do it as a job,
Yeah, we're not.
is that we can walk away from it for a little bit, where other people are inundated with constant things they have to comment on or make articles about, and it's I can imagine it's really draining. Like that must take so much fun out of your
Yeah.
hobby, and your hobby shouldn't. I don't
It's
know if your hobby
dangerous.
shouldn't be
It's
it, but
well,
it's hard.
I suppose it comes to a point when you know they always say that if you kind of love what you do, you don't really work.
Mm,
But you know, I think suppose you and me with other things are going on in our lives at the moment. Unless it's the sole thing you're concentrating on, it's very difficult to not want to treat it as a hobby more than a work thing.
yeah.
You know, I would go through
Uh,
hiatuses of a month or two not painting sometimes, mainly because I've burnt myself out trying to do a massive project for whatever reason, and you come back to it. But the fact is, as long as you come back to it, that's the important thing. You know,
yeah.
always take a break
Yeah.
if you need to.
Absolutely.
That's really important. Don't force yourself to do something, because otherwise, A, you probably start painting badly, and B, you're just not enjoying yourself. So it's just
Mm,
it's not it's you know it's the same with games. Sometimes you know sometimes in all sorts, the game can infuriate you sometimes, just from a point of view of, especially I suppose you and me probably align on the fact that we got to the point where why all these books, you know, and you're like, we just want to have a little. For me, that's kind of calmed down a bit now because I've got my Templar code. But for you, if you want to come and play a certain armies, you've got to take a little library with you, and you kind of want to stick with, I mean, I suppose the good thing that's happening, I think, is happening at the moment. It does look like they're gradually, as the codexes come out, that is clearing out several books from the backlog, except for obviously the narrative books. But then
yeah.
you don't have to play them if you don't want to. It's not they're not
No,
required.
I think some of it. I think actually, like you said, at the moment, if I play my chaos, I could take
Yeah.
3 books. That's just a very generalized kind of thing like that. A Forge World one, a couple of other little bits. Um, but then my other armies, for instance, like my Necrons and my Sisters of Battle, I 1 book.
One book.
I need
Yeah.
don't need loads of book. However, that could change if they don't bring out 10th edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what the plan is. I like if they didn't bring out 10th edition, you could gradually see more supplements being introduced.
I suppose it depends if they embrace this kind of a season style thing they're trying to do, whether it
Yeah.
becomes an evolving game set,
Mm.
which I think would be all right if that was if the rules and stuff were given to you at a reasonable price point, I suppose. Even if
Yeah.
not, I mean, maybe
Well,
maybe the time for
actually,
paying
yeah.
for the rule book is no longer a thing.
A funny thing to mention is I like over there that you
Yeah.
can't see at the moment. I've been sorting my books out, and I got my chapter approved from whatever year that is. 20. I don't know. I don't know if that's 2017 or 2019. I can't quite see from here.
It's probably 18 or 19. I think is when the
And
first.
it is like a proper book.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go to the chapter approved now, it's like boop 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 boop. You're like, what? What am I paying for here? So it's quite strange on that side of things.
Yeah, I think they've missed a. Yeah, it's a shame, but hopefully they'll learn a different trick on that one, and we'll see some improvement in
Mm.
that area, because I think that's one of the bits that I think a well-written book actually increases enjoyment for the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, you don't mind
So
buying certain ones if they're well written and they're actually worth it. That's the important bit, And Captain Jack says the sad truth, compared to most war gamers in 40k, we're pretty well priced. See, yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not yet. To be honest, I don't have enough experience looking out of
it's a
Games
difficult one.
Workshop.
I
Like,
mean, hmm. I
I
think
can
for
just
us
look at the
we're all right
books.
because we own so much of it already.
Yeah, I think it keeps its value
Yeah,
reasonably well.
yeah.
The models do, the books don't, the cards don't, but the models definitely keep their value. And maybe people wouldn't feel so put out if they stop releasing, if they just calm down on the books and actually just went, actually, I don't need that book.
It's all right.
I mean, a Chaos Codex. I've had mine for quite a long time.
You don't want your Chaos Codex? Okay. You don't
No,
have to have it.
no, I don't want any more books,
You don't want
Tom.
you just go, okay.
One wound all the way.
I'll let them know that you're
Who
not
needs any
interested.
more?
Anyway, I think this is a good place to leave things. But yeah, if you're happy to end there, I think we're about.
Yeah, and hopefully next time you see the studio, you might actually see some of the studio, not just.
I'd like to see it.
I know, but you're not going to. I'm not allowing you in.
Can I see it on Saturday?
No. Okay, you're not seeing it. I want to show you the complete. I am recording a video, by the way.
I know you do, and I'm just messing with you. I know this has been your little thing for the last few weeks. I understand that's where you've been squirreled away, so it's all good. I know you've been concentrating on it a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing the end product.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Cool stuff.
Looking forward to it. But on that note, it's been very good to speak to you all this evening from the south coast of sunny England. I have been Tom, and this has been
Tom!
And we're both from Black Toe Studio, and we'll look forward to speaking to you in a couple of weeks. So, take care.
Bye-bye!